Good morning, children. Have a great day. Standard 9th History, Unit 5, Classical World. When America, Australia, and Africa remain outside the mainstream of world history, civilization the blossomed in scattered areas of the landmass of Europe and Asia, known as Eurasia. Some of them soon reached the classical stage when the classical era was its height. A chain of empires from Roman to Persia to Peshawar began to emerge. The expansion of major civilization eliminated the geographical gap and paved the way for inter-regional trade, contract and cultural exchange. This led to transmission of ideas, technology and art. The diffusion of the great regions of the world, beginning with Buddhism and later continuing with Christianity and Islam, can be understood in this context. Classical world comprised the ancient Greece and Rome. Classical age referred to the interlocking civilization of ancient Greece and ancient Rome, known as the Greco-Roman world. Greece, the Hellenic world. Until 8th century BCE, Greece was not different from the rest of the world. The people were illiterate, craft specialization was primitive, and life was difficult. With the expansion of Sparta, agriculture was limited by mountainous terrain. However, the Greeks succeeded in founding colonies along the coast that helped them earn revenue through trade. As a result, by the 5th century BCE, the Greeks turned into the network of city-states. Acropolis, the fortified city of ancient Greece on a hill in Athens, is an illustrative example of advancement. Through the city-states for each other, they were bound together by trade, by a common alphabet, similar religious practices, and festivals. In the illustrious examples for last one was Olympic Festival of the Sports and Games. It's a very famous one for this Olympic Festival. The ruling class in Greece controlled the land. The slaves cultivated the land. Greek writers and philosophers saw the ownership of slaves as essential to a civilized life. Aristotle compared the master and slave relationship to that of husband and wife and father and children. The Greek victory over Persians. The King Darius BCE 554-86. Who was heading the great empire in Persia, decided to conquer the Greek city-states. The first Persian attack on the Greece failed. This was due to the fact that Persian armies suffered from disease and lack of food during its march. Therefore, in planning the second attack, the Persians avoided the land route and came by sea. The Greek or Hellenists fought patriotically and defeated the Persian army at Marathon in 490 BCE. Jaraxus, King Darius, the successor, concluded another expedition. Joined by Spartan, this time the Athenians persisted in the resistance, and the final battle fought in Salamis. Persian ships were destroyed. The disheartened Jaraxus returned to Persia without achieving his end. Democracy in Hellenic Greece. When the Greek city-states the first emerged, they still carried the legacy of the past. The ruler came from the lines of traditional chieftains. Thus were grow rich from the expansion of the trade. resented the privileges enjoyed by the old ruling families. At the age of tyrants, the 6th century to 4th century BCE, the proved to be period of urban development, with new buildings and enormous temples such as Olympian Jesus at Athens. Next, discuss the topic Athenian democracy. In Athens, the pressure from below resulted in the replacement of both oligarchy and tyranny by democracy. The lawmaking power in Athens was vested in assembly open to all freemen. Judges and lower officials were chosen by lords. This arrangement was resented by upper classes who considered democracy to be the rule of the mob. The Persian danger had united the Greeks. When this danger was removed, they started quarreling again. Quarreling, that means a fight. The history of many Greek city-states was one of the continual struggles by the rich landowners against democracy. Only exception was Athens, where democracy survived a further 200 years. The word democracy literally means the rule of the people. In reality, it excluded slaves, women, and non-residents known as metics, the traders and craftsmen. Next, Pericles, 461 429 BCE. Athens had a great leader Pericles who had a power of 30 years. During his rule, Athens and Sparta were continuously at war with each other. This war is known as the Peloponnesian War. The Athens, despite hostility and disturbance from Sparta, became a noble city with magnificent buildings. There were the great artists and the great thinkers. The historians, therefore, they called this age of Pericles. The Athenian government after the Pericles did not like the Socrates, the way of finding truth. In a trial, the Socrates were accused of refusing to accept the gods recognized by the state and corrupting the youth. The jury found the Socrates guilty and sentenced him to die by drinking hemlock, a poison. Beginning of Hellenic civilization. The Greek city-states did not have an elaborate bureaucracy. They were therefore able to show a great dynamism. Under Alexander the Great, the Greeks were able to establish a kingdom in Macedonia. This kingdom succeeded in annexing two historic empires of Egypt and the Middle East. But the entire period of Alexander's reign was spent on the wars. Cultural development that took place rapidly after Alexander's death, 323 BCE, is called the Hellenic civilization. 323 BC, it's called the Hellenistic civilization. The Greek, the school of science, mathematics, and philosophy, reached its peak in the Greek Egyptian city of Alexandria. The Euclid, who formulated the basic theorem of geometry, Eratosthenes, who accurately calculated the diameter of the earth, and the Hipparchus, the founder of trigonometry, were all the products of this age. Ptolemy built on Hipparchus' idea and later developed a model of motions of the planets and the stars. Thank you.